Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Neon Souls. Thank you for joining us this lovely Friday evening. We're here to play some more Cyberpunk game because we're not playing the Sprawl this time. We're playing Cypher System. If you didn't see our Session 0 last week, we built our characters. We talked a little bit about Cypher and how we were going to play it. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you didn't miss it, or if you didn't get a chance to catch it last week, no worries. You'll get caught up pretty well here today. We didn't talk a lot about narrative stuff. We're going to do most of that at the beginning of our session here this evening. But before we get started, I will quickly promote some of our other streams that we've got going on, and then let these people introduce themselves, including who their new characters are. Well, who their new iterations of their old characters are. So if you are not up to date on our schedule, our next stream after this one will be tomorrow. That is going to be Saturday Night Star Power tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Around that, we play Overarms. You can come join us there. And then otherwise, our schedule throughout the week will be the same with Slang 101 on Sunday and Tabletop Tuesdays on Tuesday, which Savannah's doing something that week, and I'll let her talk about that. I don't think we have anything else new on the channel. We may do some more video game streams this weekend. Savannah and I have been streaming some Resident Evil, and we're finishing that up, so hopefully we'll get a chance to wrap that up sometime over the next couple days. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to stop talking for just a moment, and I'm going to let these people introduce themselves, starting with GB.
Hello, Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern, and tonight I will be playing Klaxon, who is a mechanical exploring drone jockey who builds robots and loves technology. That's me, GB.
And I'm Imaginatrix, also known as Morgan, and tonight I'm playing Clarity, who is a creative hacker who works the system with technology.
I'm next. Hello, I am Savvy, or at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, and tonight I am playing Choke, who is a hardy merc who looks for trouble and loves combat.
Y'all are so fun. I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid. And I am playing Impulse. Impulse is a charming hustler who leads.
All right. I was waiting. Leads us to our own destruction?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's pretty accurate, but
you don't get to know that.
No, we don't get to know where we're going, just that we're being led. And running the game once again, I am Val at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. And I don't have a fancy sentence. I'm the GM who GMs.
Oh, I should have come up with one for you.
I'll workshop one for next time.
Val is the
unprepared.
Flexible GM who tolerates
and loves hoodies.
With a creative flavor.
With a creative flavor.
With a creative flavor. There you go.
That's
We've
adorable.
done it.
I'll remember that for next time. So yeah, before we get going, I've got a little spiel that will kind of setting up some of the mood and the stage here. But if you're watching us live, we do have some redemptions that you're free to make use of in the chat. We didn't use many last season because we weren't as familiar with the Sprawl. But this time we've got a couple more, including you can still do loot drops if you took use of that last time, as well as naming an NPC. Loot drops this time will take the form of ciphers that I will give out to the players. We'll roll randomly for those. And then you can also help out the players with some healing, help them recover some dice. And we the newest thing is this chat intrusion that we will have, where you can choose to insert an intrusion, and basically I will interpret that however I can, and the player will gain some XP if they choose to accept it. But it's a little way for you to hopefully kind of influence the narrative a little bit. So make use of those. They are on a global cooldown, so first come, first serve. For those, I think they're only redeemable once every 30 minutes or so, each one of them. So try to keep things from getting too chaotic. All right. Y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do some different music. One year ago, your crew, I love the classes, your crew made their escape from the confines, the dredge of San Angeles, and took to the skies aboard a transport vessel in the back of a cargo container that had been retrofitted with life pods for you to survive the space, so the vacuums of space in this transport vessel, and make your way to the New London orbital station. On approach to the station, though the crew can't see it, as you are locked within the depths or the bowels of this transport cruiser, we see the megastructure looming over the lunar surface, thousands of miles ahead. The NLOS, or NLOS, or New London, as many people refer to it, is a 3-segmented megastructure comprised of 3 connected spheres in a line. Each of the spheres twice as large as the last, sort of like a poorly proportioned snowman. Each of the spheres has a ring that orbits it that's proportional to the size of the sphere itself. These spheres, as you have come to learn over the last year, is the entirety and is the world, the life within New London. They are color-coded: violet, indigo, and green, with green being the largest, violet being the smallest. The violet sphere, or V sphere, holds the corporate offices and executive centers, as well as amenities and exclusive gathering areas for the elite of the elite who reside within New London. V ring, surrounding V sphere, has ultra high-end residential, is a ultra high-end residential district, exclusive, well-maintained biodomes spaced throughout for normal Earth living and the comforts of home, and is well guarded by automated security systems, which are guaranteed hack-proof. This ring, as well as the other rings, as it orbits and rotates around the dome, or the sphere, does provide its residents with the illusion of gravity, as they are within their homes. However, the spheres themselves do not, and you find yourselves in this sort of microgravity state when you are inside any of the main spheres in the middle. I sphere, or indigo sphere, is the commerce district: stores, nightclubs, everyday living for the residents of New London, who can afford such luxuries. And I ring is the high-end housing for those residents. Housing, apartments, it's cramped, but it's in high demand, kind of like Brooklyn. It is watched over by the Lunatic Security Force, or the LSF, who is the security task force that is owned by Lunatic, who owns the station, the mega corporation that handles all transport going in and out of Earth orbit. And they've made quite a name and a profit for themselves in doing so. The largest of the spheres, Green Sphere, coded green for its endless possibilities and dedication to the prosperity of New London and its people, is a shithole. The Green Sphere itself is comprised of the loading docks for orbital transports, manufacturing facilities, and high-risk storage and development. Basically, if you're not careful where you step, you're probably going to lose an arm. It's dangerous, and it's not really that suitable for people to live in. But G Ring, the largest of the three rings, is also the largest residential district. Has the lowest end housing, and is completely lawless and unregulated by the LSF beyond some minimal intervention. Basically, if you thought the dredge was bad, G Ring is worse. And that is where you have been living for the last year. As you arrived within this transport shuttle, were able to escape, and following the minimal instructions that you had been given by Ghost, find the cramped little hovel that the four of you are expected to make your stand in and survive in for the next year. You get some sort of choppy correspondence from Ghost when you learn this, and it appears that while Apollo had been genuine in his guarantee to give you housing and transport to the New London, had maybe stretched a bit of the truth about how nice your new living situation would be up there. So that's where we're at. The four of you stranded in space in an unfamiliar world, unfamiliar city, no jobs, no real source of income. You have just enough money and cred to make it through at least the next year, but not much for extra expenses beyond the basic necessities. And you're left with that situation of how you're gonna survive. So what I'd like to do is spend this next bit here and talk about what you guys have been doing. We know your plans and your goals, from Impulse wanting to get revenge on Catechism, and Clarity wanting to take down Shadow, the secret organization that has you in its sights. Choke is currently trying to recover from some terrible wounds that she had sustained in her last days in San Angeles. And Klaxon is doing the best he can to keep this team together and get Choke back on the mend. So how does anybody have any immediate thoughts on how they spent this last year and how they made the most of this terrible situation?
I think so. There's like a beam, a cross beam that goes across the like whole apartment, and I've got some eye bolts in it. And during the day, they're like pulleys for weights and stuff, so that Choke can work out. But at night, I carabiner clip my hammock, or a hammock I've rigged, and that's actually where Klaxon sleeps. That's all I got right now.
We've been talking about micro living.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this huge trend back on, Earth, right? So, I mean, we just really have to embrace what we've been talking about and, take some of those tenets to heart, I think. So, I feel like Clarity and I can, kind of reference the blogs and, really just economize as best as we can for storage and sleeping. Like, we're probably all in hammocks so we can be up and, out of the way for storage on the ground. And
Yeah. I think, in fact, when you first get here, you do see some like advertisements and things, like very new looking like billboards that have been put up around G-Ring, which sort of, in an effort for Lunatech, who maybe saw your blog and maybe stole some of that, advertising their new affordable micro housing for those that on the go who don't need the burden of luxuries and space. Save space and space.
Save space and space. It's
Yeah.
good. Oh yeah, we see that in the billboard. And Impulse is just like, God damn it, that's really good. Well, hammocks by size. So, top bunk for me.
So are
Now
you
just
saying
imagining-
that the hammocks now hang in above each other?
Yeah.
And there's like a step ladder or something?
Because I was imagining Choke just having to like toss Impulse up there every evening, and just occasionally like bringing home a drunk Impulse and just like
Lacing her.
put her in the top hammock.
Part of your PT.
I love it. I love the little like rope ladder situation. It's off to the side and we can climb up and jump in our hammocks. Lost Boys style. I love it.
Treehouse.
Yes. But they are so like a
Okay.
little Impulse and then, you know, Clarity and then a Klaxon and then a Choke and
Who probably just sleeps on the floor half the time.
Or
So
in a
that's how-
chair or
That's been your living situation for the last year's this hammock bunk bed, 4-stack hammock bunk bed, in this cramped studio style apartment. Like there, you had to rig up like a curtain around like the bathroom area because that was just open as well. There isn't even like officially a shower. It's just like a spigot in the ceiling, right next to the toilet, which just feeds down to a drain underneath.
wet room. Nice.
Yeah. And you've got a little like kitchenette, though it's just basically a counter and 2 cabinets. You got a mini fridge for that at some point, I'm assuming, and have been storing copious amounts of noodles just stacked in pallets in the corner of the room.
That's not any different from the last place we lived.
No, that's not
No.
really any different. Very small.
I imagine we
and
pooled all our resources and got a hot plate so we could make the amount of noodles we're gonna need to make.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna imagine that you probably spend as much time as you can outside of the apartment, because staying stuck in there would be really crowded for the 4 of you at all times.
Question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So you said the violet ring, the V ring, had like all the really, really best housing, but also the really nice biodomes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a thingy on my sheet from character creation that
Oh boy.
says contact, because of course Impulse has a contact. You have an important contact who is in an influential position, a captain of town guard or police, head of a large gang of thieves, minor noble, etc. You and the GM should work out the details together. But yeah, can my contact maybe like let us into the biodome occasionally so like we can like grab like some fresh herbs and veggies and things like that? Not all the time, like, but only when like they can maybe let us in. And so like we're kind of supplementing the noodles with like getting to sneak into the farm
Stealing
biodome every once in a
produce.
while. Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
the land walking shrimp paddock that they definitely have now.
definitely have.
I imagine
Yep, they do.
it's space and they're little guys, but still.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you so you want your contact to be like
Someone that at least is important enough that they would have access to
yeah.
let some people in. I mean, probably
What
not
if we
super
make
high
them-
up, but
Yeah, what if we make them like the facilities manager
sure.
of the biodome itself, so they like maintain like the some of the like equipment and like other like technical aspects of keeping the biodome up and running. So they're not officially allowed to let people in or anything, but they can sneak you in.
But they can sneak us in occasionally. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Do you have a name for this person? I have one that I can give from an NPC redemption we had last
Yeah,
time.
do it. What's their name?
So your pronunciation of this first name really could depend either way. It is Beauteus.
Beautuas.
Teus.
US. Botus.
I was saying Bodius because their last name is
Oh.
Maximus.
Bodius Maximus. Hell yeah.
You know how it's meant to be pronounced.
It's Bodius Maximus. Yes, but
It's
no, we're gonna go with
Beauteous
Yeah.
Bodius Maximus.
Bodius.
I want to go.
That's a
You
space.
remember,
That's a
okay,
spacey name.
So we just did the
Bodius.
Pokemon Nuzlocke run. I want him to be like the grass gym leader,
Milo.
just like
Oh yeah.
big old Gardner himbo.
Yes, 100%. Oh yes.
I'm gonna link
That's
him in the chat.
yes.
But has prosthetic legs that are much smaller than his upper body. So we really get that like that triangle like beef boy shape.
Oh yeah. And you know, they're
It's
friends.
full on Mr. Incredible. Yes.
But contrary to his beef boy shape, he's vegetarian.
Yes. And so he sneaks you into the farmer's market
Love
that happens every month on
We call him Bo.
Bo. All right.
Oh, Bo's a
Adding
good
that.
name for a big beefy farmer boy.
Isn't it?
And I never have to say his full name again.
I didn't expect this game to start out cute, but it's starting out cute.
It's kind of cute, right?
We'll ruin that real quick.
Immediately.
Okay. So anyone else have anything from character creation we need to flesh out real quick? Oh boy. Yes.
Do I get my special Hagen wristwatch that makes me invisible?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to make that. Because I've thought a little bit about it. I'm going to give that to you as a cipher. So that does mean it's one use.
Yep.
So that is, you will have that in your pocket for later. You could potentially get another, but that's going to be a cipher. It's going to be, let's roll for, I think there is like an invisibility effect. So let me double check that. Well, there's probably something that I can find. Blinking. I should have looked this up beforehand. Vanisher. That's what it is. Find that. Yes. Roll me 1d6.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay, so the level is a 6, which is pretty good because it's 1d6 plus 2. You already know what it looks like. It's the wristwatch thing. I don't have to describe it. So the effect is, I'll just paste this in the, I guess the Neon Souls. I forgot we don't have a text chat in there anymore. So it's going to be, I'll just put this in the Neon Souls Discord. So the user becomes invisible for 5 minutes per cipher level. So we said it was a D6, so that's 30 minutes. During which time they're specialized in stealth and speed defense tasks. The effect ends if they do something to reveal their presence or position. If this occurs, they can regain the remaining invisibility effect by taking an action to focus on hiding their position. So, again,
it's
you
not
get to...
sequential, like you could use like 5 minutes here, turn it off, and use another 5 minutes.
Once you use it, that's your time to use it. It lasts for 30 minutes. You can just enable the invisibility for it by taking an action to focus on it again. But yeah, it's a one-use thing, and I like the chat. G recommended this in the chat. It's been a year since you've had it. It hasn't been serviced. You don't have the battery or any way to charge it or replace it. You know it's got one use left at this point. So, yes, Choke.
It's Savannah. Savannah's here for a second.
Savannah.
To ask a question. Can you
Hi,
explain
Savannah.
the levels of ciphers, please?
Can I?
Can you? Because I know they
cipher levels
are a thing.
Yes, so ciphers have levels in effect. The level sometimes determines an aspect of the cipher's power. Otherwise,
Okay.
it only determines the general efficacy, the way level works for any object. So
it would say in the
like,
description if I needed to care about that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For this, you don't really need to know. Let's say one of you was trying to roll or something to find clarity when she was invisible. The level of the cipher would determine how difficult it would be to find her. So a 6 would mean you'd have to roll like an 18 or higher.
So it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, that's a
Cool.
good. It would also, like, for NPCs, any NPC that is a level 6 or lower will not be able to detect her. Levels 6 or higher, I would say, probably have a chance to like be able to detect her, overcome that. So, yeah, it would be.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you have that.
Cool.
Do with it when and what you would like. Anything else that we forgot with character creation? Because otherwise I'm going to go to you one at a time and ask like how you spent your summer vacation.
I have another question.
Sure.
So one of my intrusions is, I think we talked about this last time. One of my intrusions is called Old Friend, and it's like a comrade in arms from your past shows up, and they're doing their own stuff, but they can help you right here, right now. Should we make that one person, or should I just leave it, and when I want to use it, come up with a person?
You should just leave it, and whenever you want to use it, come up with a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're all going to be named Mr. Old Friend.
That's fine. Or it could be somebody that we've already established before in fiction, but
Does it?
okay. So we'll start with I think I want to start with Impulse. Unless GB, do you have something in mind that you
Yeah, but it's really simple, so go ahead, I guess.
Let's start with Impulse, because I feel like Impulse had the most drive and might set the most scene here, because she tends to be a busybody. So
Well,
what does Impulse do during this year? You're left with this living situation. It's bad. How does Impulse make the most of it?
Impulse now knows literally everyone within like a 5-block radius of their part of the G ring, even the really shitty ones. But yeah, just like got a good like community going of, you know, ne'er-do-wells and bad folk. So yeah, but very specifically like trying to find like people that still have some decent connections back on Earth, people that may or may not have an in or be bribing someone in one of the higher up circles, people that, yeah, so just like, oh, that's interesting, well, how'd you do that, and that sort of thing. Sucking up to a lot of people as necessary. teaching some fools some manners as necessary. Usually by being like, Choke, he's being mean to me. And yeah, but yeah, really just gonna find a way to keep abreast of everything going on with the corpse back downstairs below. And slowly but surely trying to come up with the plan to destroy Catechism once and for all.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit before, but so Lunatech owns the orbital station, so they have the biggest sort of say at what goes on here. Most of the people that are on the station are their personnel. There are, however, in iSphere, a lot of stores and shops that belong to many of the corporations back on Earth. So Catechism, IDIS, Ares Aegis, Omnitech, they all have presences here. Small, controlled. There's only so much they can get away with in the station because they don't have the same amount of power here. You do get, you find some contacts who you talk to from, get in touch from back home, as well as some of your other contacts back home who you send some communications to, though you're limited in how much you can contact them because the data rates are prohibitively expensive. Not much has changed. I think there was a little bit of heat when you guys left. Some raids at the workshop. There, a lot of your equipment and everything that was left there was confiscated. There
What
were
about my wigs?
all of them gone.
No!
All the wigs confiscated. And there were some people out looking for you guys, asking questions. Most of them didn't give a name or who they're with. Showed up at Scooters, asking.
Scoots is
where you guys
okay?
have been. Scooters is fine. He's in business. It's good as ever. Everyone's good, but they obviously weren't able to find you. So eventually things went kind of cold down there. Otherwise, corporations, everything from the assassination of the IDIS corporate officer, everything eventually calmed down. That IDIS ad campaign went away, or the Catechism ad campaign went away in a series of brutal lawsuits that were brought by IDIS. You get a little bit of insight on that from your legal contact. But yeah, otherwise eventually all that calmed down and things went back to normal. Let's see what other people are up to, and then we'll move on from there. So you've been mostly looking into things, making contacts. What has Klaxon? What have you been up to?
Real quick, I had to I want to add a detail about the hammock situation.
Okay.
Everybody's
dying to know more about the hammock situation.
I love the 1800s and I love Age of Sail and stuff. So I like to think that we have it rigged almost like a sail. So they're all kind of rigged together, and they lay on the floor, you know, biggest to littlest on top of each other, and then Impulse steps in, and me and Choke pull the hammock up, and it rises up, and then she sits in it and gets in it, and then we hoist her up, and then Clarity steps in, you know, underneath her, and we hoist, and she sits down, and we raise her up, and then we just pull the rest up, and I kind of like shimmy in as best I can because I'm used to sleeping in one, and then Choke just pretty much has to fall into hers.
So that's the routine every night, like a ye old Murphy bed.
Yeah, if you're not home by bedtime, you sleep on the floor.
Yeah. I'm imagining there are a couple of nights where like Impulse is out very late and comes home like after some sort of meeting with somebody, and everybody else is already asleep. There's probably like a glow from Clarity's hammock as she's typing on something, and the second one down, and you all just feel Impulse trying to climb up the side of your mat, everything kind of swinging as she's trying to climb up to the top before falling, and then you all have to make the decision on whether you make her sleep on the floor or not.
Pretty frequently.
All right. So with that said, the Klaxon is always been a worky guy. So, I imagine it's pretty much, a spider bot, like one little arm pokes him in the head at stupid early, and he gets up trying not to disturb the whole swaying bunk situation. And I think he's probably allowed like an EVA suit, or a some kind of small little ship to drive around to do repairs. I almost took an EVA suit because I think it was right at the thing, but I didn't. So I'm gonna assume that maybe from work he's got something like that.
So do you think Klaxon gets a job? Like in the factories or something? Okay.
Yeah, well, as a repair guy, because he fixes bots and stuff. So that's
like
pretty much what he does. And so it's that sort of thing where he, Spiderbot wakes him up, and him and Spiderbot, he uses him as his little backpack and lunchbox and whatnot, and then they grab these toolboxes and go off to work most of the day. But it has because some of the skills that I've picked up now are like pickpocket, ledger domain, sleight of hand and whatnot. So I imagine he supplements our income and place as best he can. So we've got like one wall of like to the shower bathroom. It's a frame. It's like kind of like Savvy's background there. It's like the frame, but we only got like 20 little pieces of opaque plastic. So it's still just a tarp that we have to pull around. But the dream is there that someday we'll have actual walls to our thing if I can steal enough little pieces of plastic. But yeah, I think that's pretty much his kind of thing. And I think obviously he's good enough at what he does to where he's, they just give him jobs and he works the jobs. Nobody checks up on him because, when they turn around, the shit's fixed. Because he's really way more talented than he should be to work this job. That kind of thing. So some of the things too that the intrusions that I picked up because of being an explorer, I don't really get lost. So somehow he's always able to kind of find his way. Maybe he worked the ducks or something at some point. So he's really kind of got his lay of the land. And the poisons and whatnot only affect him weekly. So I imagine he is taking in a lot of fumes. And the last one is the traps and stuff don't hurt him as much because of his explorer thing. So like they go off, like something's gonna explode, and he just kind of like gets out of the way before
Well, you've had to avoid a lot of explosions at this point. So
that's what I'm saying.
Cool. So Klaxon gets a job, has been working for Lunatech for a while in like, I imagine you're working in G-Sphere for like one of the transport docks, the loading bays where some of the equipment comes in when it malfunctions. They get you on site as sort of like an unofficial, like a contract, like maintenance worker. So you didn't have to provide any documentation or anything. They're assuming you're probably going to get killed trying to fix something within the first couple of months. So they just don't put you on they don't like officially put you on the payroll. They pay you under the table, but you've survived a year, and you get a lot of cred that goes with that.
And had a protein cake. There's a protein like a protein bar cake with some sparklers or something in it, and because of his visor and his dual functions, I imagine a lot of times he's working on something and Spiderbot is crawling around somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they just don't know that he can multitask like that.
That's awesome. Cool. Let's do Clarity and then Choke. So Clarity, what have you been up to?
I think Clarity has been like trying really hard to work on personal projects, like finding a way to establish like a secure connection to her sister so that she can try and plot with her. And it's not been going as well as she had hoped, but she's still going at it. Like I think her big goal is to like, since her big goal is to take down Shadow, is it called? Okay.
Yeah.
Remembered. She's like trying really hard to like connect with her sister about that. And I don't know if her sister has managed to like visit in the year that we've been gone.
I think maybe like once
Yeah.
Ghost has come by, and not that she can't get up there that frequently, but does like come up like once for like a couple of days or like a week or something to see you once throughout the year. And it's probably still a little, she's still a little awkward because she doesn't really know how to be like sisterly. So it's a lot of like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And like Clarity, like you having to take her to like whatever it is, like really kind of have to lead her by the arm.
They tried to share a hammock and it didn't work out well.
No, I don't. Probably not. But yeah, I'd say the most contact you're able to get on a regular basis with her is probably like you've been able to hack some of the like transmissions that are broadcast like to and from Earth, but the way they work, you're only able to get like a 15-minute window where you're able to actually like speak every day. So there's probably like just this short little window every day where you get on your computer, and sometimes you're both on and you can talk to each other. Sometimes you're not, or you're busy and you get like a message from her later on, or she's busy and you leave her a message. But yeah, I like the idea of you guys staying in touch if that's what you want to do. And she relays stuff to your mother and things that that you would want to get relayed.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what she's been doing, and I think she's been doing like freelance hacking.
Okay.
Where she just kind of like does like small jobs for people here and there, and like is trying to like stir up some sort of grassroots anti-shadow movement, but no one knows what she's talking about when she brings it up. So
Or it's like this conspiracy nut who's on the boards here. I don't like. She seems cool, and then she starts talking about shadows, and nobody really knows what's going on there.
pretty much. Which I think is good because she has an inability in being charming. So I feel like that's part of why she is so much less charming than she was before, is she is deep in the anti-shadow conspiracy. And whenever she brings it up, people are just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, you're cool. Can you do this job for me, or we can hang and stuff? Just stop talking about whatever this weird conspiracy board you have, expecting to go back to your place and see all like the red string like across the walls. That's awesome. But yeah, doing kind of the Klaxon thing, maybe on a little less consistent, but doing some like freelance hacking for some petty change, here and there, just enough cred to like hopefully keep you guys going, and so you don't have to dip too much into your personal funds, which are starting to run low as the year progresses. And Choke, last but not least, what have you been up to?
Struggling, mostly.
Yeah. So Choke had the bad head injury and lost her cybernetic arm, and was replaced by a functional but not nearly as cool arm. So yeah,
The nerves are also fried.
Yeah.
So yeah, so struggling. Choke has been working as much as she can, probably too much, sort of with anything she can get her hands on. I imagine going back to pit fighting at some point, because there's no way that's not a thing.
Oh yeah,
here.
totally.
Going back to that and then taking on other stuff, however much sort of mercenary work she can get, which is probably actually like filling in for the bouncer at the club and functioning as like hired muscle for like deals that are bound to go bad and stuff like that. She had a little bit of work done to try to deal with sort of the fallout, like the initial fallout of having a bullet in her head and then having it ripped out in the back of a truck. So yeah, she works too much and is dealing with a lot of stuff and doesn't talk about it. I think mostly is dealing probably with like a lot of chronic pain that she shouldn't be working through, that she definitely is, because she wants to get back to where she was before, with a not shitty arm and messed up burnout nerves and having her head cut open. So
Yeah.
Can me? Can I throw something into that?
mm-hmm.
Instead of pit fighting, it's core fighting, and it's 0G. It's in like the middle of the ship where there's almost nothing resembling gravity, and so it's this kind of fly through space, either through the air and hit each other, and then bounce off the walls kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I wanna ask a question, and I want to do something else. Before I do that, I'm gonna forget this. Just a brief aside. So the game runs on XP, like our last one. Talked about that. There's a lot of different ways GMs get the discretion to do XP. You guys will earn it mainly through progressing through your story arcs. You're pursuing, taking actual steps towards your personal arcs, and also from getting intrusions, which I will offer periodically throughout the game. But I want there to be some consistent XP you guys get, and I'm gonna steal something from Spell, the RPG that we played a while back, where I'm going to, instead of giving you guys XP at the end of the session, I'm gonna give you guys 2 XP at the start of every session. I may change that and do 3 or something, but I'm gonna start with 2 for right now. And that way you guys can spend that XP during the session if you want to, or hold on to it and improve as we go. But that way you guys will always have some XP in the tank to do things with every session. You guys cool with that? All right, so everybody gets 2 XP at the start of the session. Wanted to go and do that now. Before I forgot, the other thing I wanted to forget about, so while I've been saying that there are 4 people in the hammocks, there actually is a 5th person living with you guys, because I forgot
Swin!
Came to space with you. Are Choke and Swin still together? Is that still a thing?
It's complicated
Okay.
at this point.
Complicated? How? You want to talk about it?
I don't have a lot of details yet from the other half of the relationship.
Oh, okay.
It's complicated though. She's still there some of the time. Probably not as much as she was at the beginning. And there's some tension there that wasn't there before.
Okay. Well, she did kind of give up everything to go to space with you.
Did she get her own micro house?
I'm gonna make GM discretion that Swin had enough resources to get her own place of residence within the city. Probably also in G ring with you guys.
Yeah. She probably when we're at home, like if like at night or whatever, she doesn't come around a whole lot.
But we know when things are good, when like we come home and like Choke ain't there. We're like, oh, she's at Swin's.
Yeah.
And then you come home another night and Choke is just like angrily punching a bag in the corner and stuff and doesn't want to talk about it.
It's complicated. I
Here's
won't
the
say
other
more
thing.
than that right now
Okay,
because
that's
we're
fair.
talking about it.
She's gonna be here next week for the session, so we're gonna have
Yeah.
to talk about it
No,
then.
we're gonna
Okay.
just want to work out some details before I make an executive decision.
Here's the other thing that I want to offer, and this is my first one of this game. I want to offer you an intrusion, or make an intrusion here to say Choke has been doing this core fighting, but Choke has been losing very badly at this core fighting. Nerves are fried, heads donut. Your arm is obviously not nearly as good as it was before, and you just have been in a slump for the last I don't want to hit Choke too hard, but I do want to make this intrusion to say that narratively during this time that like you have not been back to your heyday of just whipping butt in the pits at the chasm.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get an XP for that. Narratively, that's the decision we'll go with. You
And
can
I'm
give an
sadder.
XP to one of the, and you can give an XP to one other person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does anybody come watch the fights? 'Cause
I was actually going to suggest beforehand that like maybe Impulse is trying to like manage them.
I mean, it seems like everyone wants to be there to watch the fights
Okay.
because I saw hands raised and.
Morgan looks the most excited, so I'm gonna give it to Clarity.
Clarity really wants to cheer on Choke.
Yeah.
I think because she's actively engaging and not also probably there for business opportunities.
But I do like that Impulse is actually there as like the manager too
Yeah.
for this.
I'll give Clarity
And,
an XP
Obviously,
for the emotional
Klaxon,
support.
You've been helping with the
out
the
of
rehab
ring.
and so
It's not
this
going
is
well.
probably you.
Yeah,
sitting on
Klaxon's in the corner,
rehab.
like, you know.
Yeah. So I'll say the most recent thing, like for context, that's happened like with Choke is that she was like working and then like saved up as much money as she could, because she was having like chronic headaches and stuff like that. So just enough to have somebody go in and like get the rest of the shrapnel out of there to make sure she wasn't gonna deteriorate any further. So she just had her like head cut into recently. And also, my intellect pool's very small.
Okay. I actually like that as a scene to start us off then. So I want to cut to, this is a year later. This is at the present day where our campaign is starting. And what I want to do, and obviously you guys can take whatever steps you want during or after this, and this is kind of where we'll begin, is at one of these core fights. Switch to my song Fist of Fury, which I have specifically for this. I
have an ability called that.
Do you?
It's literally called Fists of Fury.
I love it.
It's my song.
So at this core fight, Choke and this other combatant, this I'm trying to think of who this person might be.
He's Bo's friend.
Okay. Ro. R-E-A-U-X.
That's a Rue.
That's Rue?
R-E-A-U. R-E-A-U.
He's the chef.
Ro. Who is as big and beefy as Bo, but has cybernetic arms and very beefy legs. So it's just the opposite of Bo. The two of them are just kind of like launched at each other in the air, and we get the shot of the two of them clashing into each other in this microgravity, while the rest of you are off watching this. Can I get a little snapshot of like what everybody is doing in this moment?
Probably off talking in the corner with whoever might be like managing Row.
Okay.
And like just screaming over my shoulder, "Come on, choke!" Okay, but like in 2 weeks though, if we could have this again, like just regardless of what happens, and yeah.
Klaxon's like got visor down, and probably Spiderbot is like under the bleachers, like picking up things people drop, like like a money or something, whatever they can get their little grubby pincers on, and the other part of his brain there, he's trying to keep Choke from taking as much damage, as he knows he'll have to patch it up when the fight goes on. So he's like, dodge left, quick spin, foot, kind of thing. Just like in some kind of earpiece or something,
Getting some real steel.
Yeah.
Here, I like that. Clarity.
Clarity is in the bleachers going like, yeah, let's go, Choke. And then she turns to the person next to her she's never met before and is like, so anyway, there's this organization. You could call it a shadow organization, and it's called Shadow. And I really think that, we should take it down. It's kind of what I'm here to do, I think. So anyway. What was that about a job?
The guy just looks at you and just grabs his drink, starts floating off to another section of the stands to sit in. Okay, let's do a couple of things, because I want to actually resolve this little combat thing here. Choke, roll initiative. We're gonna do other things between the initiative rounds. It's not just gonna be this. This is probably very quick, because initiative or combat doesn't really take a long time here. But as your launch at this other thug, I think it is a speed roll.
He might be a very nice man.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Now I'm looking at this, trying to remember all the rules.
I only said that because that is the name of the NPC sheet that I'm using here, because it was the most appropriate. No,
Okay.
Rose a very nice person.
I have edge in this. That affects the difficulty of the roll, usually.
Okay. It's a difficulty 3.
So if I have edge, that makes it 2?
No, edge.
What does that do?
Reduces the cost of if you're going to use, if you spend anything from your pool. So you effort, which you could use to
which I have one of.
Yeah.
But then if I want edge, I can just do it for free.
No. So
wait, the 1 minus 1, not 0?
Let's talk through this so we remember what it is. So if difficulty 3, it means you have to roll a 9 or higher. So you're going to roll a d20, and if you roll a 9 or above, you succeed, and you get to go first. If you want to spend effort, you can reduce the difficulty of the check from a 3 to a 2, which instead of rolling a 9, you have to roll a 6.
If I have edge,
you get to reduce the cost of anything you do that you're spending from your any pool that you have edge in. So if you have edge in your speed pool, you get to reduce the cost. Effort takes 3 points to apply. So if you want to do effort, you instead only have to spend 2.
I can spend 2
Yeah.
to do better. Okay.
Mhm.
I understand.
Yeah. Do you want to spend an effort?
Yeah.
Okay. So you spend 2 from your speed pool
2.
and roll a d20, and you have to roll a 6 or higher.
That, I feel like, shouldn't be that hard. But that's a 3 for me.
All right.
Question. If
yes.
I want to do something helpful, do I also need to roll initiative?
So you want to like do something in the background during...
I have a move.
Okay.
That is I don't think we're calling them moves. I have an ability, there you go.
Yes.
Called encouragement. While you maintain this ability through ongoing inspiring oration, your allies within a short range can ease one of the following task types of your choice defense, attack, or tasks related to any skill you're trained in.
Oh, yeah, that's good. So yes, you can you can also roll initiative. Again, it's a difficulty 3. You don't
So
have to spend anything unless you want to spend effort or something.
Nah. So I just roll a d20, yeah?
Roll D20? Yeah.
Okay. I am rolling a d20. That is a 20. Holy shit.
Okay, so now we get into another part of this game, which is the special rolls. Need to remind that. So you roll 20, you get a major effect. So major effect in addition to normal effects of the task. It would, if you had spent points, it would reduce to 0. So there are a bunch of major effects we can get into. There's a whole list of them in the book. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to keep this a little shorter. But I'm going to say for your major effect, you do so well for this narration or for this oration here, cheering her on. I'm going to let Choke go first.
It makes the difficulty go down 1 more, and I rolled a 3, and that's enough.
There you go.
Rules.
Rules!
Perfect.
I've done math. That's all you're getting from me for today.
Choke. You want to attack?
Yes, I do. I want to, I don't know. Now I'm having to think, how boxing work?
Boxing and 0 gravity. Describe how you attack then.
Choke is going to, because I imagine that because Klaxon wants to help, but because she refuses to talk about any of the stuff she actually needs help with, that this is what he's been helping her with, is like weird strategies and like off kilter stuff. So imagine she like pulls back to the wall and big strong legs, launches off, but like purposefully. She does it on purpose. Purposefully launches herself like at an angle and makes it look like it's essentially a feint, but it's 0 gravity. And so like makes it look like, oh shit, I fucked up. But then it sort of wheels around and big right hook.
Perfect.
Big left hook.
So
she's doing more left-handed lately.
Go ahead and you roll attack. Again, the difficulty's a 3. You can use any of your abilities or anything you want, or you just make a...
I think most of my abilities are in damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
It's going to be a might attack to use your fists.
Might for fists.
The difficulty, because you're using you're just punching though, is reduced by 1. So it reduces it to a 2.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll. That's a 5.
How are you rolling so bad?
Game doesn't like me.
Okay.
Do I have anything for this?
I was gonna say it's the roll 20 curse.
Yeah.
If I am trained in thing,
You reduce the difficulty by 1.
I'm trained in unarmed attack.
You're trained in unarmed attacks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You also you reduce it to a 1 then. So you succeed with a 5.
Rules! I punch him.
Okay, so as long as you're in this fight, you only have to roll 3 or higher to succeed.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, I have like 7 attacks on my sheet because I have like
That's fine.
2
I told you guys
guns
before
and...
we're gonna do this low and slow.
Yeah, I'm trained in currently all of the attacks that I have.
Okay.
So yes.
What's your damage with punching?
4.
Okay.
Which is a lot, I think.
So Choke wheels around, feints to the right, and then comes around with a big left hook, just laying out Ro, who just kind of spins through the air a couple of times, and then slams in the back. Yes.
Does this count as a melee weapon?
Why?
Because I get more damage if it does. Is
I
unarmed
don't-
attacks melee weapon? I had to choose between melee and ranged. It just says melee
then
weapon
yes.
attacks.
Sure.
Then 5.
Okay. He spins another time and then
spin
slams into the cage of this circular, like this sphere at the center of the room that you guys are fighting in, and the whole thing kind of shakes, and you see some of the crowd coming up to it, like shaking on the sphere behind him, and he kind of spits blood to the side, just globules of it floating in the air off to the like out of the cage, and some people like avoiding it, and you see him kind of smiling as he launches back towards you. While this is all happening, Impulse, you're cheering from the side, trying to convince this this potential business contact.
I was just thinking, like, if Ro has like a manager, like trying to set up more fights for Choke later, but also like, you know, whatever else they happen to do in the
It's
ring.
Bo. That's the
Oh,
that's
Bo.
Ro's
Oh,
manager.
okay. Then
yeah.
Are
we're
they brothers?
Yes, I'm deciding that now. The Maximus brothers, Bo and Ro.
Maximus brother.
Oh my god, I love them.
I really love them too.
He goes,
Then I mean, it's half like, well, yes, like, I mean, this just totally makes sense, and then like a little making out, and then like, but yeah, of course. Come on, Choke!
oh, so you're that kind of contacts. Okay, that
Yes.
puts a lot more context.
Does she have another kind?
Exactly.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
It was-
I mean, some things have changed. Like the eyelashes are shorter. There are no wigs, but Impulse still Impulse, baby. Come on.
yeah. It's just like, I think we can work something out. I'll
sure
talk
we
to my
can.
brother and see what we can do. Oh, as he sees that hit, and
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Give him another one. You're either of them. They're both good arms. Get it together, Choke.
Come on, Ro, you got this. What? No, don't. He doesn't listen to anything that I'm saying, and kind of like winds his way across the thing and starts like yelling in his brother's ear and says, "No, I said dodge," and that's our little slice of that.
But
Klaxon, you're doing some. Oh,
I
sorry.
have
guys.
my encouragement thing. So okay, with Edge, that means you spend one less if you decide to spend something, right?
Yes.
As a part of an ability. So if an ability costs one of something and I have
do it
one
for
edge,
free.
then I do it for free. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I do the encouragement thing. So while I'm yelling, encouraging things at Choke, she eases one of the following task types. I'm gonna say defense, because what, you only have to roll 3s right now for attacks?
Yes.
Okay, so I shall ease her defense tasks.
Yeah. If you eased her attacks right now, she wouldn't have to roll. She would just be hitting automatically. But if you ease her defense, then yes, that will reduce her
Huh?
the cost of defending.
What do you think, Savvy?
I think. I mean, I want to say I can roll a 3.
Oh no, we've cursed it. We've cursed it now.
Defense is good. We'll split the difference.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. You do that. While that's going on, Klaxon, you're stealing things with your spider bot. I do want to have you roll for that. So that's probably so you're using your drone, or you have your is it droid or drone? What's the word that
Robot,
it
I
uses?
think, is in
Robot
here.
builds robots.
Yep.
Okay. I realize I can just pull up your sheets. I don't know why I'm being lazy. So machine interface. So I was seeing whether so you've got lockpicking, pickpocketing. I think pickpocketing is probably the role we're going to go with here.
Okay.
But you're using your piloting abilities or your machine interface to do this instead.
Yeah.
Or no, that's a different thing.
Is it?
The machine interface is the one where you gain an asset on task to discern level, function, activation of technological devices. classes you touch. There's something else I was looking at.
So I've got tech skills that has piloting, repairing, vehicle driving, and then there's the stealth skills, then the machine interface, and then later on, way down at the bottom, in the mechanical.
You have it in your notes. Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, you're trained in all actions involving identifying, understanding machines. You're trained in all actions involving using, repairing, or crafting machines. And then the robot assistant is under that.
Okay, so it serves as an asset if the robot's destroyed. Okay, so yes. So what you will do is this will be a pickpocketing roll with which you're trained in.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an asset because of your robot. So I was going to make this a difficulty 3.
Okay.
It's instead going to be a difficulty 1. So roll a d20. You have to roll a 3 or higher.
And that's using the speed?
We're going to go with speed, yes.
All right. And then I don't add anything in. I just hit roll now.
Yeah.
12.
12, wonderful. So you succeed. Spiderbot comes back, kind of jingling as it does, as it's like picked some wallets out and picked some data card. Like it's a little like interface thing, like jacked into somebody's phone who is half, or like data pad who is half hanging like off the back of their chair, and like skims a little cred off of their accounts. So what I'm going to give you for that, I'm going to say from that stealing, you get 500 cred.
Right. And so that goes in money, right?
Yes.
500C. All right.
All right. And before we get back to Choke, the other thing that happens is clarity. You've been having this conversation with this guy who's like floated off, and you turn back to Choke's side. You see her level this punch, and as you're sitting there and kind of like now more focused on the fight, there's a tap on your shoulder. And you turn around and there's a young man with he's got a like cyber plating on like the bottom of his jaw, and a couple of tattoos that you can see kind of hidden by a like a hoodie he's wearing. And he comes to you, kind of a smile, and he says, "Hey, I'm sorry, I overheard the conversation you were having with the guy about the Shadow Corporation.
Oh yeah.
What's that about?"
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's like all those corporations down on Earth, right? And there's a shadow corporation that essentially pulls all the strings and makes sure that they all run properly. And they're in charge of like making sure all this stuff happens. And it's really crazy, but it's really true. And I'm trying to stop them.
Okay. Geez. All right. I don't know much about that kind of stuff myself. But I've got some friends that work in kind of like they do some kind of shadier stuff and kind of work and with, they might know a thing or two about that. I could introduce you to them if you'd like.
That sounds great to me.
Why don't you, they're outside if you want to come meet them.
Like outside?
Yeah, they're just at the bar out back.
I think I'll be yelled at if I go by myself. Can I like wait like two minutes? 2 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to meet up with them right now. I don't know if they're gonna still be there, but yeah, 2 minutes is fine.
Cool. Great. Sounds good to me.
Okay. See you there in a minute.
See ya. Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Crap, I didn't give this character a name. Zane.
Cool. Nice to meet you, Zane. I'm Clarity. Okay, I'm gonna finish watching this fight, and then we'll go meet with your friends.
All right, cool. See you in a minute. Zane walks off.
Clarity gives herself a pat on the back for not going with a stranger to a strange place.
God, what has happened to Clarity in this year?
She's been
didn't-
kidnapped and had bomb planted in her
That is
head,
true.
and
That
then
is
they
true.
dropped a grenade on our home base. And then
Once bombed, twice shy. Ooh.
need I continue?
She's growing up so fast.
I love that the impulse though is like, someone will yell at me. So
While that is happening and Zane kind of floats off, though, look back to the action where Ro has launched themselves back off of the cage with Bo shouting behind them and saying something about like, what's the point of having legs that big if you don't use them? And he goes in for a kick. I'd like you to make a speed defense roll, Choke.
okay.
Difficulty 3, eased to a 2.
A 16.
Nice. All right. You just whoosh, dodge out of the way of this kick that passes over top of you, avoiding it entirely.
I'm almost imagining it's because she hears Impulse yelling at her but can't hear what she's saying and is like, what the fuck? Just at the right time. What the fuck are you doing? Move
So you
slightly.
dodge this. You dodge this kick. You've got another chance to attack. So go ahead and do that.
She was just yelling,
Love
break his legs!
You see Bo over there going, "What?"
Figuratively.
Oh, sweetie, I'm just being supportive of my friend. Go on! Hit the kneecap!
Rolled a 9. 2 punch.
And that's another 5. So as he misses with the kick, you just go in for an uppercut. And you hit him right in the stomach as he does, and there's just like cough as he stumbles backwards, and then you just follow it up with a right hook with your new robot or your less cool robot arm.
Still a
but even
robot
that
arm.
is enough. That is enough to impact right to the temple, and he just goes spinning through place, and as he hits the cage once again, he doesn't sort of rebound as well, and he is thoroughly knocked out by your shot, and the whole crowd roars as you won your fight. And you see some angry people as the odds were not in your favor for winning this one.
Is this the first one I've won?
You've probably won a couple,
Okay.
but this is probably the
In a
cleanest
while.
victory that you've had in a
Okay.
while, yeah.
Can we have bet on her?
Would you
yes. But
Yes?
would you have?
have? Based on the
Okay.
record.
Yeah.
I believe Clarity.
She totally would have. Especially with all the like finagling she's trying to do. Come on.
Yeah, there's no way Klaxon would have bet on her. That would be like betting whether you're coming back from a combat mission or not. And that's bad luck, man. That's bad mojo.
No.
Can I-
Impulse.
Can I use an intrusion on Impulse that she bet on both and comes out, breaks
just
even
to
on that?
cover- just to cover her bases? Sure, why not?
Okay. Everyone else gets
Get that XP.
who
Take
everyone
that
else who bet got 100 cred from the betting, because I don't imagine you would have bet much more than that. And Impulse, you get an XP, and you can give an XP to somebody else.
Well, choke because she kind of did the fight. So
Do I get paid for these?
God, you guys are just grubbing for money, aren't you?
Well, I said
All about the money.
I said
No, you would have gotten paid.
Just like a little.
So
probably not a
Choke,
lot.
you don't get the money for betting on yourself, but you get
I would not bet on myself.
you get 300 cred for the fight.
Cool money. I go to the store and buy a bunch of Excedrin. Is there a Mr.
So-
Convenience here?
There is, yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna change the music. This is
I love it.
It was good.
I added it
So
to my
epic.
playlist.
Dude, you're evil because I'm like, I can't listen to you unless I upgrade to premium. Fine.
Do it.
I did.
So, Choker's won her fight. You're let out of the cage.
I imagine
I don't
spitting
think-
blood and
Yeah, a little rough, but not too bad. What happens next? What do we hit with Clarity coming over to talk to the
who's
group?
there?
Clarity runs up for sure.
Yeah, let's say everyone's there. Klaxon with Spiderbot coming back on, is still kind of jingling a little bit from
Like a piggy bank. Yeah, and I'm like putting the butterfly band-aids on, and got the little cut stick, and patching her up.
It was so good. It was so good. So they've got you again in 2 weeks. So Bo and I figured it out. So it's you and Ro again. But this time, like we're thinking like maybe we can only use like one arm, just like some sort of like gimmick or whatever. We'll figure it out. It's not set in stone.
Excuse me.
Glamour, there you are.
Yeah.
I
So-
hug Clarity and only Clarity.
Clarity gives a hug back and is like, okay, so there's this guy and he has some friends and he wants to meet with me at a bar out back. And I didn't go with him this time. So
This
There's that.
time.
well, I mean, never mind. Anyway, so I thought, we could all go together because they said that they were into some stuff. I think he used the term shady stuff, but like he said that they might know something about shadow, and I'm kind of super into that. So like,
Okay.
It's a
but
bar.
also I knew I would get yelled at if I went by myself.
Well done.
Whatever justification you use is fine.
Oh, also choke, good job.
Thank you.
Let's get Choke a drink and find some shady people.
I'm feeling some pressure behind my eye again.
Hmm.
Is it Papa Night?
And Klaxon grits the first aid kit, and he's checking. Looks good. Looks good. Here, cup your eye. And he literally like puts his palm in your eye and pushes against your head.
Claire, maybe hold her hand and bring her along.
Okay.
Fine.
Say a quick bye to Bo. I'll see you later. Well done.
I've got to make sure my brother stops bleeding, but good fight. See
Yeah.
you next week.
Good luck
Yeah,
replacing
I'll-
that tooth.
Well, no, she'll lean in and be like, I'll see you for our fight later. She'll walk away.
I think he was in the middle of like binding one of Ro's arms, and you say that, and he kind of like overdoes it, and you hear just Rose just like, oh, it's pulled way too tight. Sorry.
Carefully.
So you guys all follow Clarity out to the bar behind the fighting arena.
I will
Um,
order a round of drinks.
Yeah, you approach the bar. Clarity heading first. It's a little crowded back here as everybody's kind of filtered out from the. Now my music changed. Hold on. I want Chuck Kicks Ass to keep playing. You head out back here. The bar's kind of packed with everyone from the stands that has come out. The bars themselves here are multi-dimensional because people can like hover there for bars. So it's just like this sphere at the center, kind of mirroring the fighting arena. And there are a couple of like openings all around the sphere, and the bartenders are kind of mixing the drinks in 0G. And so it's a lot of just like floating liquids and cups, just like scooping through it. It's pretty badass, and a lot of neon lights and stuff like illuminating the plexiglass orb, and you see floating there, kind of grabbing onto one of the railings on the side of the orb, so you can stay in position and talking to a couple of people, you see Zane. And prominently, the one he's speaking with is a woman about his age with dual spiked mohawks that are like platinum blondes and like a spiked studded leather jacket, and they're talking for a second, like over the roar of the music and stuff. And as you come up, Clarity, with everyone else, Zane turns around and says, "Hey, you're here. Hi, Clarity, and hello, everyone else.
Hi.
These are the friends you were talking about,
Yeah, these are the friends.
right? Hi, friends of. I recognize you." Pointing at Choke. You were in the fight.
I won the fight, but okay.
Yeah, good job. Good job. I lost money on you, but good job.
Well, now you know where to put your money next time.
Clarity, this is Yule, the friend I was telling you about. And the woman kind of, she's chewing some gum, and sort of the bright pink pops for a second, and she goes back to smacking on it. She says, "Sup?"
Hi.
So Yule does some stuff, has run some jobs with. I don't really. She just pulls up a hand and says, "Zane's an idiot," but said that you were talking about some sort of shadow corporation thing.
There again?
I know. Well, it's really important that people know about it, and maybe sometime I find someone who believes me.
We talked
And-
about this though, not in like big public spaces, because then like the wrong people could find out.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know much about it, and like I said, Zane's an idiot. But I do know some people that kind of said the same thing a while back. Do you know about the WRM or the worms?
No.
Wasn't the name of that. No, that was the source.
No,
Right.
you guys have never heard this before. She says, right. I don't take it you've been in New London very long.
Long enough.
The workforce restructuring movement started as kind of like a union thing, evolved into a extreme anti-corporate gang. They do a lot of work here in the Dome. Anyway, they do some recruiting every now and then. I was talking to some people the other day. They were talking about like kind of fuck the corporation sort of shit. Usual stuff. People like that. A couple of them said something about a shadow thingy. It kind of rung a few bells. Zane was there. I remember them talking about it. Don't really remember what they said, but like I said, we're kind of working an angle to like hopefully get some jobs from them. Because, well, it's the best paying gig you can get kind of here. We're for sure working for like the factories and getting jettisoned out into space. So, if you're into that kind of thing and you want to get on the ground floor with the worms, we might be able to work together.
All right. Are you just looking for backup when you go looking for these contacts, or is there some sort of like initiation we should be aware of, or
there's kind of like an initiation sort of thing.
how do I know? All right.
Yeah.
What is it?
So I probably shouldn't talk about it here. Maybe we meet up later, talk details.
Claire?
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Send you my info. She pulls her data pad, scrolls a little bit, and swipes in your data pad pings with Yule's contact number on it. And she says, all right, just let me know when you're done here. We can meet up at my place. It's not too far from here. And we can chat about it there. Just don't tell anyone else about this, okay? I really don't want there to be a lot of hands on this. All right?
Sounds good.
Mum's the word.
And I assume you're like the leader of this Clarity, this little group here.
Yeah. We can say that.
Cool. Well, as
Absolutely.
long as you trust them. As long as you trust them, then we're cool here. All right. Zane, let's get the fuck out of here before you tell somebody else about this. And Zane's like, all right, thanks, y'all. Clarity, it's great to meet you. Looking forward to working with you. Rest of you look good. Thanks. And she's like pushing him away. It's like, yeah, we'll see you.
Bye.
Like,
Bye. Okay, cool. I'm not the leader, am I? I don't really want to have that responsibility.
Oh no, it's totally fine. But if they think that you are, it sort of throws people off. So it's great.
Okay. As long as I don't have to do like any leadery things, like.
I'll do the talking, babe. No worries.
Okay, thank you.
Your catchphrase can be, I'll have to check on that.
Ooh, really good.
Or I'll run the numbers. Either
Oh,
of those
that one's
are
good.
real good.
Or give me a moment. We need to consult, and then we can just walk away. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So did I do good?
I think you did really good, darling.
Okay. Oh man, because it's been like a year of trying to figure out the shadow thing, and they don't exactly know what that is. But I feel like this is a start.
At the very least, it sounds like it might be work, like our kind of work.
I do miss working regularly.
Me too.
Klaxon just cracks his neck like, I don't miss working. If it wasn't for the side robbery, it'd be a shit job.
I'm sure it's terrible.
all right. So with that and any discussions that you are going to have about your impending meeting, we're going to go and take our break here, and we'll come back to play some more. So everyone out there, stick around, and we'll be back in a couple minutes to see where this goes. So see y'all soon. Welcome back, everyone. We're back from our break. Sorry for being gone so long. We've gotten very bad about that, and we're going to start being better about coming back from our breaks at a decent time. And at least coming in here and having the bullshit conversations that we're having by ourselves with all of you guys. So, back to it. You are at the bar. Have just seen Choke's fight, her core fight, which she won. Got a little bit of money out of it, stole a little bit of money out of it, and you met two new friends, Zane and Yule, who offered to get you a little bit of work and potentially put you in contact with a group called the Workforce Restructure Movement, colloquially known as the Worms, who are a sort of extremist, anti-corporate organization here in New London. Yule has given you her contact information and said that you can meet her back at her place whenever you're ready tonight, and she can talk to you a little bit about what you guys will be doing together. So, what's the plan? You guys just want to go straight to the meeting, or is there something you want to do beforehand?
probably suit up at the very least. I'm assuming I didn't bring all of my weapons to the fight, like probably just like my blaster and like a knife or whatever. So
Fair. Yeah, you could go grab your gear. How does anyone have anything special other than just like general sidearms and that sort of stuff? Nobody has like a rocket launcher that they're bringing with them to.
I have a
this
thermite
meeting.
grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you guys bought a bunch of grenades. I do remember that.
Bring one, just the one.
Okay.
I'll leave my biggest gun at home.
Gun is that?
It's a heavy blaster. It's
Oh, okay.
the one that's essentially replacing the sniper rifle.
Yeah. Okay. You guys all kit up with those, and you head over to Yule's apartment, which is in the G ring, the same as yours, and it's just like a couple miles away from where y'all live, and you head up to the like couple flights to the higher. I mean, the interesting thing, getting a little bit more visual, is when you're inside the spheres, like when you're at the fight, you're in this warehouse district. It's like jumble of pipes and walkways and everything sort of mismatched, and all these like jagged buildings are put together, like forming around this massive dome here. And there's enough space in the middle that you can see like some ships hovering that are waiting for loading and transport. But when you enter the rings, which you do through like, there's like a shuttle system that goes from the domes back to the rings, and it runs at all hours of the day. It is just this. I mean, if you've ever played any of the Halo games, when you're on one of the Halo rings and you see like that perpetual, like that sloping upward out of sight trajectory, the whole place is all of the structures are built on that incline, and you do have that artificial gravity there. Gives you a little bit more sense of reality and feels more like Earth. But you make it to the apartment, go up a few flights of stairs, and knock on the heavy steel door that leads into Yule's apartment. There's a unlocking on the other side. She opens it up into a dark interior. You can see a little like couch bed in the corner and another like small little kitchenette area, a couple of light displays along the corners of the room. There's a little like a hookah that is like rigged to the ceiling with the pipes leading down from the ceiling on like small, like suspended by little strings over by the couch, and then like a big display television that is displaying some sort of picture of a kind of a frenetic show or something, but there's no audio on right now. And she opens up and she says, "Oh, you're here. Cool. Come on in. Zane will be back in a second. He went out to get some drinks, but since my fridge is empty, Clarity, Choke, Impulse, Klaxon, right? Cool. Make yourself comfortable." And door closes behind you. You can find a place to sit. It's a little grungy, mismatched furniture. Everything kind of dark, no windows or anything, but your apartment doesn't have any windows either. And she hits the display, and from that frenetic like TV image, it goes to a more like static image of, I don't know, like a mountain vista or something, just to open up the room a little bit. And she kicks up her feet on the center table and grabs one of the hookah pipes, taking a long drag from it. She's not wearing the spiky jacket anymore, just like a racerback underneath, with some sort of like graffiti display on it. And she looks pretty comfortable and casual here, but it's definitely like sort of eyeing you all and sizing you up as you make yourselves comfortable. She says, "So, how long you been in New London?"
Looking around to everybody to see if we're being truthful or giving the usual lie.
Klaxon doesn't talk much to begin with, so he just kind of starts making gestures and, like, tries to pass it back to you. He doesn't care.
About a year.
Cool. Well, welcome. I just hadn't seen you around a lot. I think I'd seen a few fights that you've been in, Choke, but I know a lot of the people around here. Try to get to know as many people as I can, so I can usually spot a new face.
And she says that Klaxon looks at Impulse.
But yeah, I mean, that's G-Ring for you. 60 million of your closest friends, all just trying to live.
Oh, it's definitely the epitome of micro living.
Y'all originally planet side, colony?
Klaxon does not laugh. He just is. We're all just like,
Right. That's fine. A lot of people come here to get away from something. I understand you don't want to socialize. At that point, the door kind of shifts a little bit. You hear like a dee-dee-dee, and she says, "Oh, that must be Zane." And Zane opens up the door. He's carrying like 2 big cases of beer, like one under each arm. He's like staggers through the door and closes it. And she looks up. She says, "I said buy something from the liquor store, not rob it. Jeez, how many people are you having over?" And he's like, "What? She can probably drink a lot." Pointing over at Choke, stacks them over
Suddenly
by
in
the
the mood to
fridge.
socialize.
Begins putting them in the fridge. She says, "Right, my brother for you."
Oh, your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we definitely can't fault
Family.
your hospitality, so cheers.
Cheers. She cracks open one of the beers and passes them around to y'all.
Hey,
So,
thanks.
since we're not socializing, business then, get to know each other later. If you don't know a lot about the worms, I won't sort of go into a lot of detail there. But if you're interested in work that isn't exactly up and up with the LSF, then you're in the right place. If you're worried about getting in legal trouble,
Darling, we've never worried about that in our lives.
Yeah, we're not.
cool. Awesome. So I have been working for a while, Zane and I, and Zane says it was like about to say something when she interrupted him. Like, I helped. Zane and I have been working for a long time trying to get in with the WRM. It's kind of, I mean, it is a union in a technical sense. A lot of perks that come with that. If you're looking to be on our side of the law, it's a great place to start. It's hard to get in, though. They're a little exclusive. So I've got a contact that I was talking with. They said they can get me and Zane in if we run this job for them. If I can call them, if you get in on this job with us, we all get in. I'm sure I can work that out. I mean, if you help, if you've done stuff like this before, it'll probably work. I can vouch for you. The job ended up being a little bigger than we thought, so more hands is probably going to be better, which is kind of why I've been looking for people. I didn't expect my idiot brother to start asking literally everyone that he met, but luckily, seems like we lucked out.
What's the job?
Right. Lunatic. You know him.
Familiar.
own everything here. Right. They had a transport shuttle that came in through one of the docks here 3 weeks ago. Something that they were shuttling up to Icesphere got grabbed by some patchers on the way there. They took it for a little joyride. It's been missing. Word on the street is patchers got a little more than they bargained for. They've been trying to offload it to somebody. WRM wants us to, the Worms want us to kind of broker a deal or get the goods, whatever it takes. So we were kind of working the angle, the crew that we had, of trying to work some sort of deal out, trying to more like broker this, maybe get in with them. But having a more full crew, we could hit them hard, take the goods, get them to the Worms, and well, more bang for our buck if we don't have to pay for it up front or kind of make some sort of trade.
Do we know who the Patchers are?
Patchers is a colloquialism for people who overdose on patches, like mood patches and stimulants and stuff. So essentially kind of like they robbed it to try to sell it to buy more drugs.
So do they still have it?
I don't know. I don't even know what's in it. The LSF has been looking for them for, the last couple of weeks. Seems whoever they are, stayed smart enough to not just like go around asking everybody. It's just kind of been like a friend of a friend, whispers getting to the Worms that they're looking to offload it, whatever they got. So.
And
Interesting.
hence there won't be any blowback from the Patchers to the Worms if we hit them hard.
No, that would probably be, so my contact was leaning more towards, the people that stole it, and that way there's not a trail. We just didn't have the people for that, so I was trying to get in friendly. We got new angles, new opportunities here. So.
Yeah, I'd say with us that's definitely an option.
How many of them are there?
I don't know. Based on what I said, can't be more than like a handful of guys, like maybe 3, 4. It was a small job. They kind of got lucky, grabbed it at the right spot.
Well, anytime anyone ever says it can't be more than 3 or 4, it ends up being a dozen. So we can't really count on that till we see it. But
I don't know.
do you know
If it is, I'll just fucking take care of it and you keep dinner warm.
Fair, but we are a team, love.
I know, that's
my kind
why.
of woman.
Keeping the dinner warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
Right. And again, where exactly are these Patchers known to hole up?
So we think they're somewhere. They can't have gotten far with the transport shuttle. It wouldn't have been able to clear any of the security checkpoints out of G-Sphere. So it's got to still be somewhere in G-Sphere. There is a sector where they've been working on some construction for a new transport dock. My guess is it's somewhere in there. JSF isn't really the LSF isn't really present there. There's not as much heat, and nobody would be really looking around there because you hit the wrong thing. You get sucked out the vacuum into space because it's kind of a mess over there right now. So
Lunar mines and all that. Fair enough.
yeah.
Any visual over there? Anything we might be able to tap into? Get a peek around?
I don't know as far as like security systems that have been installed. It's probably bare bones right now, but there might be worth looking into. I've been trying to get in front with a hacker, or trying to get in contact with a hacker friend of mine, but they're kind of like exclusive. They're a little bit pricey, so I'm working on them. I'll let you know once I
We've
got a contact.
got that covered. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you know a hacker?
Hi.
You. Clarity. Awesome. Damn, you did luck out, Zane. And he's like, right? I told you. And he starts drinking and sitting on the other end of the couch. She says, all right. Awesome. So you can hack over there and see if you can find anything. I mean, there's got to be some sort of log about them entering, even if the LSF hasn't pulled it up yet. Yeah, that would be a great place to start.
I figure you might be able to get some footage of them nipping the thing in the first place too, since it was by the dogs.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and all the shuttles carry from a little bit of research. So we've done a little legwork here. All the shuttles have a black box. The first thing a patch would have done would have been to rip that out, but there's got to be some sort of footage or something somewhere. And if we can retrieve the black box, we might be able to get some more information from that. Just got to kind of hunt around for it.
What do you think, Claire?
I mean, yeah, I haven't done something like this for a while, but it sounds pretty straightforward.
It's like old times.
Hmm.
I'm remembering the train in particular.
Oh yeah, let's not revisit the train.
Oh, I liked that one.
But we're not earthbound. We're in space. So if everything blows up, then we go into the black vacuum of space. Just a reminder.
I don't know, maybe we could blow something up that we're not on. Just for
Well,
fun.
Yeah, I mean, we'll sort of nail it down this time so we make sure the airlock is closed before we let the back half of the train get ripped off.
Good plan. Good plan. Good plan.
We've been working together for a long time.
Yeah. Well established. So Yule, right? We can do this, obviously. But we're kind of gonna need that little guarantee that we'll be getting in with the worms as well. I can't just take I can probably do this. I need a solid.
Right. So what do you need?
I need proof that if we do this job successfully with you, we all get in.
Oh, I mean, I feel like the solid is I know where you live now, so.
I mean, that's true as well. But I was hoping it wouldn't come to that.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I can tell you're
Professionals.
Yes. So, okay. Let me call my guy. See what he says. Cool?
Cool.
All right.
And while they do that, Klaxon will go over to like an outer wall and kind of tap on it and look at the structure of it. Like, yeah, we can blow this up and suck them into space if we need to. Just like a total subtle threat, but without, like, you know.
Yule stands up and heads across the room, but it's very small. Just like the polite, like I'm going somewhere else to do a phone call, but still like 10 feet away from you. And hits your data pad, and like the heads up display comes up, and you get their side of the conversation, and you just hear her say, "Hey, Lynn, how's it going?" Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get to the point. Yeah, so that job. No, not yet. We're working on it. Yep. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just something about that. We got a couple others for the crew? Okay. No, we're not keeping it. No, we haven't told anyone else. Okay. Yeah, they're legit. Like they know their stuff. We're talking to them. Yeah, they're here, right? Okay.
Give me the
Sure.
phone. Just give me the phone.
Yeah, she hits it, but he wants to talk to one of you.
Hi, this was Lynn.
the voice comes through and says, "Who am I speaking to?"
You can call me Impulse Love, or you can call me your next big dream. So we're going to get this taken care of for you. And when we do, we would like membership to your exclusive worm association. Are we clear?
Is you still there? She's yeah. I'm here, Lynn. Who the fuck are these people? They're friends of Zane's. He met. You know, that brother of yours.
Hey, Zane got lucky this time, okay? Instead of blabbing to someone that could have just taken him back in an alley and killed his ass, he found 4 extreme professionals at what we do. So,
We're both.
Impulse, was it?
yes.
So, let me get this straight then. Yours idiot brother saying, because, hey, you holds up a hand.
Clap Zane on
Just
the back
looked at-
really hard, like, it's okay, buddy.
Just lucked out in finding. How many of there are you?
Oh, we're a 4-person group.
4. Just lucked out in finding 4 people qualified to help out with this job who are going to keep their trap shut about this and not go leaking any of it to the LSF, Lunatech, or any handful of patchers that want to get their hands on this goods.
Let's put it this way, love. 1, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And 2, yeah, he happened to find some folks that are definitely looking to take down the corpse.
In the background, you should have made this video call to just look at me.
I want Impulse to roll.
I'm not sure I'm helping. I'm not entirely sure it's helpful.
Let's do. So, are you?
Okay.
Do you have a training in like persuasion?
I do.
Okay.
I am
I think
trained
we'll
in
go-
persuasion. I also. Let me see if I have.
So I'm going
Okay.
to set the difficulty at this at a 3 again.
Okay. So since I'm trained, that brings it down to
To a 2.
2. Okay.
Do you have anything else that might help you with this?
I do actually. I have something called Demeanor of Command. It gives me a couple of things. Let's see. You project confidence, knowledge, and charisma to. Oh, it's all you who see you. Never mind. They can't see me. I know. Video calls. Damn it.
Turn on the video.
Yeah. No. This is when you speak, people that are not attacking you give you at least a round to hear what you have to say. If you're speaking to a group that can understand you, you can attempt to have them produce their leader or ask you to take me to your leader. And you gain a free level of effort that can be applied to one persuasion task attempt.
I'm going to say based on the level of technology because it's saying like people that can see you
And hear you speak.
and hear you speak. I'll give it to you in this case because of the nature of the tech and stuff. I think that's more so that's probably meant to curb in like a different setting for like magical or other like where this kind of communication isn't as common. So we'll allow you to do here because so much of your conversation is like over the phone and stuff. So you have to spend.
Yes, so it would be, I would spend 2 intellect, but I have edge, so that's how those work. So I have edge in my intellect pool, so it technically only costs 1.
1.
Okay, so I
And then
spend
you get a free, and it gives you a free level of effort, which is going to reduce
Yes.
the difficulty by another 1. So cool. So that'll reduce it to a 1. Go ahead and roll your die.
Okay. If my mouse will work. There we go. Okay. 15.
Nice. I don't think that gives you any additional. No, it's only on a 17 or higher. Okay. There's a moment of pause. So you all have done jobs like this before?
Yeah, sweetie. We've done jobs like this before.
All right. Fine, they're in. As long as they don't fuck it up. Same deal for them. Yule gives a nod and kind of lets out a long, like a very relieved sigh. Says, "Great, thanks, Lynn. We'll let you know once it's done." And he just says, "Right, soon. Clock's ticking," and the phone cuts out.
Seems like a great guy. Okay. So
He's seems a lot more intimidating than he is. He's a nice guy, really.
I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
So we have some hacking to do, looks like. Ready to dust off that hacking brain, Claire?
Sure. Right now?
Well, best plan sounds like either get some footage of potentially where they could be right now and or footage of them actually taking the shipment.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
And then maybe we can try and find this black box thingy.
As a side detail, the first time they said turn on video, Klaxon's hood came up and he kind of turned away. And then the second time they said video, he put his hands in his pockets and became shorter, just kind of like disappearing.
All right. What do you want to do?
I guess we can just start hacking away tonight.
I mean, Yule says, if we want to get started now, that's fine. If you have the equipment that you need, the sooner we get this job done, the better. So it doesn't get offloaded to somebody else or somebody else.
Time's a ticking. Yeah, let's do this.
Besides,
Great.
you're not out of these yet, so.
Right. I'll sit back and let you do your thing, I guess. And she sort of sits back in the chair and watches, waits for Clarity to do her thing.
Cool. I have a wrist computer,
Yes, you do.
and that is an asset for most knowledge-based tasks, which I don't know what that
Yep.
means.
So knowledge based would be any task you're like recalling information or trying to learn things. So there's a lot of things, like a lot of you might have training in different knowledge based things like history or agriculture or something along those lines. So I would say gathering intel, gathering information, trying to look up stuff. That's probably tangentially knowledge based. Like it's not going to be an asset if you were trying to like hack a piece of equipment, like a robot, to like attack somebody or I don't know, open a door or something like that. But it'll help you for gathering information.
Okay, so how's hacking gonna work in this game?
So you have a skill called hacker or hack, right?
Yes, it is. Hold on.
I think it's under your special abilities.
Oh yeah. I have hacker. Hold on. 2 intellect points. You gain quick access to desired bits of information in a computer or similar device, or you access one of its primary functions. It's an action.
Yes. So you can just it's a little more simple in this game because basically you can spend 2 intellect points and hack into the machine, so you can gain access to it. I'm debating, like, because I want you to have the opportunity to like roll for things and stuff too, so I don't think that's going to solve every problem, but it'll get you into the right spot, and that you can spend the intellect points and you can get the information, and if you want to dig deeper or look into other things, then I might have you roll, because you have other skills like in computers and programming and things like that too. So
Cool.
but actually information gathering in this is going to be a lot easier for you, because it's going to just basically be you use the ability and you get some information.
Nice. Cool. Fun.
So you also have, I think, edge in intellect.
I do.
Okay, so where that would normally cost you 2 points, you only have to spend 1 to use your ability. So you spend 1 from your intellect pool, and you can hack into it with your wrist computer. I would also normally require that you have access to some sort of computer to be able to hack, but you have your wrist computer, so that's going to solve that problem. Clarity, you pull up your wrist computer, and we're still kind of functioning it the same way, where you kind of like goggles down, jack in to the device, and Clarity, through your virtual eyes, you suddenly see like the visuals of the layout of the surrounding area, and you see the data flows, and you begin to follow along those paths. There's a wireless transmission that goes from G ring to G sphere, and you begin to kind of search through the waves of data there. You are specifically looking for the video footage of when the transport was stolen.
I think so. I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, either that or Yule had mentioned like the area where they think they might be holed up.
Okay.
Either way.
Yeah, we can sort of combine those two. So you find the you access surveillance footage in the G sphere, and you kind of wind back the clock, pulling up some records of video footage, and until you find the date and time that Yule has told you that the transport was stolen. When you find that, you also notice some like alerts that have gone around that time that you're able to like fully lock down like exactly what happened, and you pull up video footage of one of the connecting gateways that leads from G sphere to I sphere, and you can see a line of vehicles at a checkpoint, all lined up to, not vehicles, like the transport shuttles, at a checkpoint, one at a time, being led through it and being scanned as they do. As you're watching this, or you have this video footage, you see kind of a little flashes of light, and you see these like little speeder pods come like rushing up from the sides, one of them kind of dinging off the side, kind of like side swiping into one of these trucks, and you see somebody jump off the back, kind of landing on the truck, reach in, or the shuttle, reach in through, like scrambling up to the top of the shuttle to where like the cockpit is, and you see a flash of a thermite grenade go off as it sort of shatters one of the cockpit windows. You see them reach in and grab onto one of the pilots and go like throwing them off the side. That pilot kind of like falls, Wilhelm scream, out of sight. And this person climbs in. Somebody else on one of the other speeders climbs on at the top, and they kind of stagger inside, and the whole transport shuttle kind of lists for a second, rams into one of the other transport shuttles, kind of falls back a little bit, kind of restabilizes, and then goes zooming off to the side away. And you see a couple of the other shuttles like righting themselves, and everything is like gone chaos there. And then the footage cuts at that point, and you can see the last image that you got was the shuttle kind of grazing away from this line and heading back into the like G-sphere factory district. But you don't get a clear indication of where it went just from this footage.
It's just like old times.
Yeah. Just like old times.
All right, where'd those fuckers go?
Well, let's see. Trying to think what I want to do
So-
next.
I could have you roll. There are a couple things that we could do here. So we could roll for. You've got such a long list of skills that you're trained in.
I don't know how it happens.
I know.
And like 3 of them have to do with computers.
Yeah. No, I love it. I kind of like rolling your puzzle solving skill.
Yeah,
For
I
this,
was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because there's an
Yes.
exact like you see their last trajectory, you got a couple of pings, you have the data that you've pulled. It's about putting a few things together here to exactly narrow down where they've gone. You've got like a lot of data from like alerts, other like bits of footage that you see that you can pull together. But I like this idea of using the of this skill to try to triangulate here.
So how do I go about using the skill? Do I just roll?
Yeah, so I'm going to put the difficulty at this at a 3 again. It's a pretty standard difficulty for where you guys are at right now. Actually, let me pull up my task difficulty chart. That's demanding, requires full attention. Most people have a 50-50 chance to succeed. This actually might be a little bit harder. I actually think this is going to be a 4. A little more difficult here. So I'm going to set the difficulty at 4. Means you have to roll 12 or higher to succeed. You have training in it, which is going to reduce the difficulty by 1 step to a 3. You can also spend effort, or if you have any other abilities that might bring the difficulty down, now would be the time to use them if you want to increase your chances of succeeding.
Effort is debating.
I can help. I can just freebie help and give an asset.
Oh.
I have something called good advice. Where you go? Where you go, thingy? Good advice. Anyone can help an ally easing whatever task they're attempting. However, you have the benefit of clarity and wisdom. That's clarity in there. When you help another character, they gain an additional asset.
Cool.
So she can be like super obnoxious and just like lean over Clarity's shoulder while she's working on the thing. No, get back one. No, the other way. Yeah. No, right there. Like, yeah, right there. Like, just super obnoxious. Like, just chin on her tippy toes, like chin on her shoulder, like looking over.
I like that. So you can give an asset there, which you reduce it to a 2. You also have your risk computer, which is an asset as well.
Wait.
Yes, and I consider this a knowledge-based check, so that'll reduce it to a 1. So you either have to roll a 3 or higher, or you can also spend effort and reduce it to a 0.
I'll risk it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your die.
Just D20?
Just a d20.
13.
There we go. We'll get faster with these as we go once you guys get more comfortable with the system. But right now, for as long as we need, we'll talk through it this way, and it'll get you'll get more comfortable with how it works. But essentially, the way it'll work, for the most part, is I just tell you what the difficulty is going to be, and you guys just get to apply everything you want to try to bring that difficulty down as low as you want before you roll the dice. So once you roll, that is it. Unless you have an ability or something, then you can. There are some chances you can take to reroll, or you can spend XP to reroll or something if you want. But once you roll the dice, that's usually when the negotiation period ends. Okay, so you pull up this footage following Impulse's advice, and we get this like Sherlock Holmesian like piecing bits together and calculating trajectories, and we just see like clarity in the virtual space of like this, like putting all the data together, and you finally connect it. And judging from a few pieces that you put together, you're able to locate a decommissioned lunar metal storage facility that is on the edge of where this construction is happening, this new zone, this new dock that they're adding in. It's been decommissioned because it's going to be added on. It's going to be demolished and then added on to as part of this new dock that they're building. And based on where you can tell and putting all the dots together, this is probably where they're at.
Cool. Think I found them.
Where they went right after the heist.
Found a possible spot here.
Great.
While the hacking is going on, too, I think Yule and Zane are just like sitting back, watching this happen with like the two of the with like Impulse helping Clarity, and Clarity doing all the hacking and her eyes glowing, all that, and Yule just leans over to, I guess, Choke, and it's just like, so you all really like do this kind of stuff, don't you?
Oh yeah.
You're not bullshitting.
No, we've been working together for a while. This is sort of
Cool.
back to basics for us, I guess.
So she's the hacker and the leader.
Sure.
She's the face of the operation. Talker.
Mm.
You're the muscle, obviously. What's that one do?
Klax?
Like Klaxon, who's like hunched over in the corner, hands in pockets.
He's a builder.
Sip it.
Builds, fixes.
Ah,
Good with tech.
Like-
Robots, mostly.
tech junkie type. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, might get along with Zane here a little bit.
Yeah. Fucking smart if you can get
Yeah.
him to talk to you.
Well, Zane's a dumbass, but he knows his way around machines.
He seems okay to me.
Yeah, he's all right.
I don't have a brother, so I wouldn't know.
Lucky you. Any other family, partners?
Family, no. The rest is complicated.
Complicated, yeah. Get that.
Yeah.
Cool. No, well, complicated. There's always a few people mulling about. Zane's my only family, though. But cool. It's nice to have some professional. All this works out. I'm sure we'll be working together a lot more.
I'm sure.
Cool. I'm gonna get another drink. You need one?
Love one.
Yule gets up and she walks behind Choke over to it, and she kind of turns back for a second and looks at Choke from behind, just like and goes to get them drinks.
I don't care how in the middle of work Impulse is. She saw that. She saw it. And she looks over at Choke.
Is looking everywhere else.
Choke, there's a little like ding on your data pad for a second, and it's just like Swin going like, "What's up?"
Working.
Cool.
Finally.
That's it. I just wanted to add that drama in there.
Finally
that's
looks
not
over
an
at Impulse.
This isn't an intrusion. I there's no way I shouldn't give points for this being an intrusion. This is too good. Okay.
Finally looks over at Impulse. You know I don't know what you're doing.
What's that?
What's what?
That.
What?
She was totally hitting on you.
Yeah.
And?
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 And? Fucking no. What?
Well, what are you gonna do with that? She laid it down. Are you gonna pick it up or what?
I can think of a couple of things. What?
What about Swin?
I want to talk about it, okay?
What the hell's going on with you guys?
Why is that any of your business?
Like, we're friends. I like her too. Like, she's cool.
Okay, well, she's not hitting on you.
I know she's. It's not what I meant.
Oh, that's the problem then. You jealous?
What?
Are you jealous? Because it's not you for
Swin
once.
or
It's
Yule? What? I'm confused.
I think I know what's going on here.
What?
Joke has no idea what's going on here.
Look,
Oh, it's wonderful.
Look, I get it. Everyone gets jealous. It's fine.
who am I jealous of? I want to clarify.
That's a you problem, I think.
What?
I think it's right now that Clarity's hack. Clarity completes her hack and says, "I found it."
I'm in.
I did it.
Yule comes back from having her head stuck in the fridge. Says, "Oh, you did it? Oh, cool. Where's it at?"
Here. And she like gestures in the air where she can see the map in her like mind palace. And then, oh wait, and then she just pulls it up on her like wrist computer and is like, here.
Oh, cool. That was quick. You're good.
Oh, I try.
All right. So we know where it is. Hit him hard.
Well, we should probably make sure we know what we're looking at. Like, it could have literally just been like 2 or 3 of these folks that, you know, go take it back to their den of like 30 of their friends. So maybe we do a little more recon, you know?
What I really need to know is if it's like 2 or 3 of them, or if it's 2 or 3 of them, but like me.
Very good point as well. Like, if there's like 30 of like me,
We're good.
we're fine. But, you know, 30 of her.
Klaxon like looks terrified and is like shaking his head in the background.
I know. It's
That's like
okay.
nuclear.
30
Yeah.
30 impulses.
Oh, I thought you meant them. 30
No.
of us would also be terrified.
That's what I'm saying. That's
But
what
in a
Klaxon-
very different way, but it's fine. So yeah, Klax, maybe we get a little closer and like maybe Spiderbot can go in and like say hi, but not say hi, mainly just spy.
And you look over and Klaxon's been taking all the cans and having Spiderbot like leg up and go over top of it and then crush them into flat circles and then put its little feet on them, and he's like rotating Spiderbot and turning them into like crushed little aluminum throwing stars, like little throwing sharp discs. And then when you say his name, he looks up. He's like, "Yeah, recon. Good thinking. Let's do this."
Just leans over to you and is like, I told you.
Well, Zane's got a truck, so
Oh, great.
once we can get in that once it's sphere side, so we can get over there. Awesome. Let's do it then. Got anything you need to get before we go?
Oh no, darling, we suited up far before we came over to your place.
alone.
I mean, I could
Great.
stand to grab the rifle, but
Yeah,
how
you
long
want.
distance do you think we're gonna be?
How far away can you be with Spiderbot there, Clax?
And it's a couple hundred yards or something, I would assume.
Something like that. I don't know if there's actually a
Yeah. See, that's why what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Relearning.
Yeah, because
So-
I was like a city. I drove him all across the city at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put so you only really get the benefit of your robot assistant when they're like next to you in the system, so that, like, you know, they perform as like an asset when they're near you. But as
Yeah.
far as like setting the limitations, it's really we get to decide that. So we can go with whatever the limitations were in like the sprawl, which is I would say like a far range, so
Okay.
500 feet or less
Okay.
is like your effective range with Spiderbot.
Cool.
I mean, maybe it's worth it to grab the rifle.
You know, I'll go grab it
Just in case, just
for
better
comfort
be
more than
prepared.
anything.
Fair.
It's got a rifle too. Great.
She said having knives strapped to her sides, the chain, and another gun on this side. I'll get
All right.
it just in case.
She's
We'll
a
meet
walking
everybody.
deadly weapon.
Oh, I don't even need these.
She doesn't.
I mean, if you're going back, I'll go grab the big tools.
All right.
Because he's basically, his tack vest is all the like light tools, and then he's got like a tool case that's the heavy tools. So
All right. Quicker, probably just the two of us. So, are we grabbing anything else, ladies?
I brought my needler and my blaster and my knife and my sparkling wit. No, I'm good.
You don't need like the bigger eyelashes or anything.
No, these are the only ones that I could afford right now. We talked about this.
One day we'll be able to afford her a sense of humor.
Go get your gun.
All right. We'll meet everybody at the transport station in what, 15?
We're coming with you, darling.
Yeah, everyone else, yeah. So Choke, Klaxon, Seal there. Everyone else, let's get going.
Great.
They, lock up. You all head out for your next to get this job going. I think we're gonna go ahead and call the session here before we get into anything too nuts.
Grill Yule next time.
though, as Klaxon and Choker walking away, he kind of goes, "We should have changed our names." He just like says it as it's going on.
Maybe you're supposed to be dead.
Are there questions you want to ask Yule that we can fill in the next 7 minutes with, or are there...
Oh, Yule, where are you from?
Oh, Zane and I have lived here, and Clarity, you're here too with this conversation. So,
Yep.
Zane and I have always lived in New London. Born here.
Oh, folks still around?
No.
Yeah. And what are your intentions with Choke?
I'm sorry.
What are your intentions with Choke?
Well, I think she intends to recruit all of us Impulse. So, like,
I don't mean that part, Claire Bear.
okay.
I mean the
Oh.
sex part.
Wait, they're having sex?
Not yet, but I think they want to.
Zane is like, I'm just gonna like walk a little bit ahead for this part of the conversation.
Oh, whatever makes
I
you
don't really
comfortable,
care about
love. It's fine.
My sister's sex life. And Yule just kind of laughs a little bit, and she goes, "You're pretty straightforward, aren't you?"
That's what I'm known for. Gets the job done.
I mean, what? You think she'd be interested?
Oh, you're definitely her type. But she is currently in, well, it's complicated.
Yeah.
So she
said.
tells me. But she is seeing someone. Just so
Well.
you were aware.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't? I mean, that's her choice, right?
Just as long as you're aware, people should be upfront about these things.
I mean, listen, when this job's done, if she wants to, I'm down. And just, listen, I don't want to cause issues. If you two have something, then
No. Looks to clarity. No.
Okay, just with like the third degree, I just thought that you might be it's complicated sort of. Okay.
No.
That would be really weird for me.
It would be really weird for me. No. No.
Right.
Zane's your brother, right?
Yeah.
She's like my sister.
Gotcha.
So
Cool.
she.
All right. So yeah, that would be awkward then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, my intention. I don't know. Kick Zane out of the apartment for a few hours after we get back.
At least you're
And
classy.
Zane is up there. Is like, I really don't want to be hearing any of this. Like, can we not?
Oh, I find that if you like plug your ears and like sing to yourself, that helps a lot.
Good idea. And he plugs his ears and starts humming. Just,
You mean like to hear talk, not to... Never mind. No, I don't want to know. All right. Well, glad we sort of cleared all that up. What do you do? Just curious.
This?
What are your skill sets?
Oh. I don't know. He usually runs all the tech. I usually kind of face, like, kind of your thing.
Oh.
A little bit of your thing. A little bit of Joke's thing.
Oh, good. Okay.
I mean, a lot of
Wonderful.
Joke's thing, hopefully. But, yeah.
Well done. Okay. So, you know, I make people terrified of me, but you can back it up too. That's good. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm sort of the brains of the operation. He does the other stuff, and he's just still...
Is he humming the NBC News theme? That's what it sounded like.
That's kind of where I ended up, and I don't know why. But yes,
He's well informed. We have to
watches
protect
a
this
lot of
boy.
news.
I love him, and we have to protect him at all costs.
I really like Zane.
He's
He's
so good.
precious.
We need to
He's a
keep
precious
him.
boy.
You guys were so worried about that he would be a creep at first, and
We're keeping him.
I wasn't
Turned
worried
out to
that he'd
the
be a creep.
cutest.
We were worried about his friends.
It's true.
yeah, it's true.
Turns out he doesn't have any.
Oh,
Well, saying his friends.
Now he does because we're keeping him.
we're keeping him.
All right, so now you have Zane humming, Yule declaring her intentions, all while Choke's ears are burning while she's walking back to the apartment with Klaxon. That is probably that we're right on the hour now. That's probably a good place to end our session. Well done. Good first session of season 2, guys. This is going exactly how I expected, with 3 characters that I've made up on the spot. So we're great. All right. Let me choose the music. So we don't have any end of session questions. Really, just one question that we will ask at the end of every session, which is: did you take any steps towards your personal arc? I definitely think Clarity did.
I feel like I did.
This felt like a very active step towards pursuing Shadow. The rest of you, your arcs are defined in the book. If you didn't write them down somewhere, if you need to look those over again.
Impulse did get very excited about an anti-corp gang, so that was, if they're good to be anti-Shadow, then hopefully they're good to be anti-Catechism too. It's kind of where she was going. Honestly, her first thought was, oh my God, I can take over this gang and they can do my bidding and we can take down Catechism. But that's, that was private thoughts.
I can get behind that, I think. Now I've forgotten where the arcs are in the game book. Where are they?
I wrote down my revenge arc. Opening is just vow, you swear revenge.
Okay. Which you have done.
Yes.
Fair. All right. Yeah, no, I'll take that. I'm going to be generous with it, mainly because I can't find the stuff. Okay, so you did that. Choker, Klaxon.
So rereading mine are, hey, basically you advance if they advance. They're the same things as theirs. So
yeah, which is you can add. I've got an eyelash. You can add additional arcs later on if something. My music went dramatic again. Go away. You can add something to. You can add a new arc if something comes up as you go, so you're not going to be fully dependent on Savannah's play throughout the rest of the game.
But it does make me push on that.
Yes,
so
it does. Yeah,
that's why I'll make sure that I do kind of like, hey champ, it'll be me the one now being like, now we need to work out. Let's do this.
So
character arcs start on PDF page 244.
Thank you. 244.
Not book, PDF. That's the start of the list of arcs.
Okay. And you had the...
So I have recover from a wound or trauma. I'm going to argue that I did the exact opposite of that today.
That sounds like it.
I did the opposite of all of mine.
Your steps are self-care, getting aid, medicine, therapy, acceptance, or recovery being the climax of it. It seems like you've done the opposite of self-care.
I've done the opposite of what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is choke self-care just getting into fights?
It shouldn't be.
That's a stretch even for me. That seems like the opposite of what she needs to be doing.
As a human with chronic pain, playing a character with chronic pain, no.
Nope.
Self-care can take a lot of forms in this cyberpunk kind of sci-fi system.
You take care of your own needs.
Yeah. I don't think...
Which, I don't know, maybe I was trying to do, but Impulse is getting real nosy around some of those needs.
You know what? Your business is your business, but she needed to know the truth, okay?
It's also her business.
Yeah, everything is Impulse's business.
Well, if you think... Here's what I'll ask you. I mean, we don't have to get too much into detail here. Was flirting with, building up that confidence, flirting with Yule and stuff, was that self-care?
I don't know.
It's fine if the answer's no.
I don't think it's enough to constitute self-care.
Okay. Yeah, you have to decide that for yourself.
I don't think that, like, that level of confidence is not something that is, like... Choke is at that level of confidence with other stuff.
Okay.
So I don't think that's enough.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and I think I was a wash because I patched her up after the fight, but I let her go in the fight. I didn't try to talk
True.
her out of it.
Actively contributed to the fight, I would
know,
say.
and so that's what I say. That's kind of a wash. I can't claim that
Oh,
I
no.
offered medical aid or anything there.
Oh man.
This might not be
I-
the greatest pairing.
No.
Or it is the
never gonna
ultimate
do this.
pairing.
Yeah. Shit blows up, and it's like
Fine.
the end of Fight Club. You met me
You
at
know
a weird
what, though?
time in my life.
Regardless of what Choke did, I think
will
I could
say-
make an argument for Klaxon getting XP for actually like trying to help there in that
He tried.
situation.
Well, I was gonna say one of mine is just getting aid. Someone helps.
Woo! I'll take it. All right, and I get to hand one back, right?
No, so
that's intrusions.
The way that that's intrusion.
Okay.
This you get 2 XP for taking a step.
Oh, 2? Oh.
2 XP. I double checked. It's 2, not 1.
I'm gonna give Choke a big no on making recovery progress today.
That's fair.
Which
I mean,
seems
it's good
right.
to be strict.
She's in the first stage of recovery. It seems steps backwards seems right.
Yeah,
to me.
I like this, and we'll obviously, I will try to leave as much opportunity as I can for you guys to pursue these through your own means. That's kind of what I did here today. Clarity started asking questions about Shadow, and I was like, I'll give her something with Shadow there, and we'll develop a story that way. Because I went into the session with absolutely nothing prepared. So yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. So anyone have 4 or more XP?
Ah, 5.
Oh shit, all of you. Okay, so you can.
Hold on. Did Morgan just say she has 10?
Oh, okay.
I thought you
I was
were
like,
holding
there's
up
no
10
fucking
fingers, and I was like, how?
Wait, what?
So
I think we all have 4 or
here
5
is-
though.
Yeah.
Cool. So here's the way, one of the cool things about this game is you can either hold on to that XP to use it for things and buy things. You can buy, I think I gave you a list before with XP. You can with 3 XP, you could buy a property, and you could buy get a job or declare a contact or that sort of thing. You can also hold on to it to refuse intrusions and things like that later on. Or you can spend 4 XP now or at any point to go ahead and start your leveling up process if you wanted to pick something. The page for that is somewhere in the book.
Which is huge.
On
They list them on the character sheet too of some of the options of increasing capabilities, increasing your edge, adding to your effort, training in
okay.
a skill,
Mm-hmm.
I feel
and
like
then
it should be-
special options. On page 242.
Oh yeah, character advancement. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah. So you have to. The way I'll go and explain this, because we didn't talk about last time, and then we'll call our session here. Is you spend 4 XP. You have to pick. There are the 4 major options, and then the catch-all. You have to do 4 of those to go up to the next tier. You can only choose each option once. So increasing capabilities. Yeah, I forgot. Savannah, you put them on the sheets, didn't you?
The advancements? Yeah, it's under advancements.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you did that too. So if you go to the
I
advancement
did.
section of your character sheet, you would check off
The
one of
5
those.
are there. Once you've done 4, you get to go up a tier.
So you can check those off, and you can spend 4 XP to check one of those options. Other options are listed in the book. Those are you can reduce the cost of wearing armor. We're not doing that, so just ignore that. You can add 2 to recovery rolls, which will help out later if you're trying to heal. You can
We can buy a new ability from our tier system. So we can buy another tier 1.
It says select another focus ability available to you at tier 3. Wait, which one are you looking at here?
The very last one on the special options.
Select another character ability from your type, such as warrior. Yeah. So you can get another character ability.
Cool.
Yeah, it has to be within your tier that you're available, and then you can select another focus ability available to you at tier 3. You have to be tier 3 or higher
To take that. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, you can look those over. If you guys want to level up, you'll get 2 more XP at the beginning of next session. So yeah. Anyway, sorry for everyone watching. That's a little bit boring. There's some little bit of bookkeeping there and learning the system. But that's where we're going to call it. While you guys figured all that stuff out, we can talk more about it off stream. Does anybody have anything they want to plug or promote before we call it for tonight? No?
Oh, except that on Sunday mornings I'm running Griftlands, and it's a lot like this.
Oh, cool.
It's a like Slay the Spire, but it's set in a sci-fi future planet, and there's all kinds of crazy weirdness, and the artwork is just amazing. 10 a.m. Sunday mornings, Eastern Standard Time. Graybeard Tavern.
Go check that out. But if there's nothing else, we'll be back here, same time, same place next week with a guest player. And we will continue our story. So join us tomorrow, Saturday at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern Time for the next Saturday Night Star Power. Rest of our schedule is below. Follow us on Twitter. Join us on Discord. Follow us here on Twitch. And get updates on everything that we have going on the channel. Thank you to my lovely players for being here for another season of Neon Souls. Thank you everyone out there for watching. And we will see you all next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.